Meantime, this weekend, President Trump is turning up the pressure as he calls for larger direct payments to Americans. In a tweet, he says, why would politicians not want to give people $2,000 rather than only $600? It wasn't our fault. It was China. Give our people that money. We bring in talk radio host, the voice of Indianapolis, Tony Katz. Good to see you, my friend. Where's all this money coming from?
I think it's still coming from China. I mean, that's, of course, the question. Where is all this money coming from? And what is the need for all this money, or who's causing the need? The president's not wrong that this virus comes from China, but a lot of this need comes from the fact that we have governors and mayors who have shut down businesses in a haphazard, non-scientific way, and it's still causing disaster. And $600, when you see all the places that they had money earmarked for, really does insult people to their core all across the country, from the coasts to the heart of the nation, that this isn't something that we should look at and say, oh yeah, that sounds normal, that you're sending billions of dollars to the Egyptian military. There's nothing wrong with possibly working with the Egyptian military. There's something very wrong with doing that when you've got Americans who are told they can't go to work and feed their families. That's the fundamental issue.
Back in college, I had a great professor who talked about the production seesaw in television. There's what you can do and what you want to do, and when the two get too far out of whack, things start to fall apart. Is that what we're at here? Congress took 6 months to negotiate this. The idea they're going to renegotiate American foreign aid in the next 5 days? Really?
Oh, no. Congress did not take 6 months to negotiate this. It took finally an election to happen for Nancy Pelosi to be willing to have the conversation, because she didn't want to give any type of political win to President Trump. If anybody's having an issue really understanding this story, remember that we could have helped Americans months ago, but Nancy Pelosi refused, and Dick Durbin of Illinois refused,
Tony,
and Chuck Schumer, Senate Minority Leader, refused.
There may be the political facts on the ground, and then there is the optics. If the president is putting Republicans in the Senate in the position of saying no, which it seems as though many of them are, which is why, and for that matter, Republicans in the House, because it did not pass by unanimous consent on Christmas Eve, that's a tricky place for Republicans, isn't it?
Well, the idea that President Trump has put Republicans in a tricky spot before isn't anything new.
Okay,
it's
fair.
Hold
on, let's get to this point.
Saying what?
Speaking of a tricky place, you've got Republicans on the trail in Georgia. Take a listen to Kelly Loeffler.
What David Perdue and I have been doing is fighting to make sure that every single Georgian can live the American dream. Like President Trump, we're business people, we're political outsiders. We went to Washington to work for you, and I've committed to you, I will never bring Washington to Georgia. I am taking Georgia to Washington.
You know what's interesting? Her whole stump speech, never once did she talk about the COVID relief or the stimulus bill.
You know, if you take a look at the person who ran against her for that special election, Doug Collins, he also voted for the relief. And there has been nobody who's been a more vocal proponent and supporter of President Trump than Doug Collins. Georgians, of course, are paying attention to this. And of course, there's a conversation about what this does to the runoff election. But the idea that this one story is playing big in that election or will determine that election, that's not true. Even if you look at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, there's only one real story about this, and it's not even a headline story. WSB, a radio station that I fill in on from time to time, 95.5 FM, they're not talking about this story. This is much more a Beltway concoction than it is real life.
Well, it becomes about real life, as you pointed out, when you're talking about the people who need the $600 checks or the $2,000 checks. Many need so much more. Unemployment insurance runs out at the end of this week, as does the eviction moratorium. Tony, excellent points. Good to see you as always. You understand when I say I'm up against a hard break, it's true that I am, but I think there's going to be more to talk about in the coming weeks. We'll see you soon, my friend. Thank you. Happy New Year.